Hi Carla. It's great to get outside and see you again. How are you? I'm great and it's good to be outdoors and see you again too. And how are you? I'm fine. I've been making great progress doing these virtual focus group and strategic planning sessions back at ABC Corporation. I've been focusing on doing an employee-created YouTube channel that does some good dealing with climate change. How has your own climate action work in the community been going? It's been going well, but to be quite honest, I could use some help getting more people more aware and involved in positive and gainful ways that not only help us just survive, but thrive. Great. That's what's been on my mind too. How might we communicate this together over YouTube? Well, I'm thinking that we need to do that across generations, across genders, across communities, across cultures, and across the planet, and using YouTube to do that is a great idea. Wow. I was just thinking how many folks have smartphones now and are already using Zoom. With the right online workshops and courses, people could be trained to tell their own climate action stories that do a world of good. Yes. Stories about people finding work, getting included, and getting hired in climate solutions industries. And stories about people who even succeeded in being successful online entrepreneurs themselves. Wow. This would really be good news for Dave at ABC Corporation if we did this as ABC employees who care. It would actually grow ABC Corporation business, in addition to all the good we do. Yes. And this inclusive, equity-creating initiative would get more diverse people across generations, across genders and across communities get hired. So does that mean you are willing to work with me on doing the outreach over Zoom, and developing a really awesome YouTube channel, once people get empowered to do it right? Absolutely. I'd love to work with you on this. So now it's time for me to loop back with Dave.
Hi Lizzie. You've been on my mind ever since I found out about you doing those great virtual focus group and strategic planning sessions. How have you been?
Fine. Things have been going great. Everyone I've been reaching out to loves being asked what they care about. And people love being asked to weigh in with their own thoughts, feelings and ideas during these powerful virtual focus group sessions. This initiative, doing virtual focus group and strategic planning sessions, reflects a whole lot of caring and respect on your part, Dave. Thanks for funding them.
Great! It continues to be a pleasure. Tell me more.
Gladly. Even the folks in human resources are now looking to upgrade their online courses and improve their LMS metrics. They loved the idea of using virtual focus groups to gain focus and be on target and spot on with the people they serve. They even entertained the idea, down the road, of possibly experimenting with employee co-authored social learning to get better results and higher performance.
Great news that folks in HR are interested in your work. And me having you pitch the idea of doing your own employee YouTube channel to members of my leadership team also went well. So how's that new YouTube initiative of yours, doing virtual focus groups, been going, reaching out to people and getting them interested?
It's been going incredibly well, especially when we started talking about doing YouTube programming that served community and the planet well by implementing climate solutions.
Great. I have actually been thinking about ways to reduce ABC's huge carbon footprint as well as reduce some of our costs. What have you been finding in the way of climate solutions?
That's one of the reasons why I wanted to follow up with you. Victoria Brown of New World Communications told me about an excellent resource from a nonprofit called Project Drawdown called Climate Solutions at Work. Take a look at the subtitle. This downloadable resource was written to unleash your employee power in really good ways, and it not only speaks to my needs as an employee, but it also speaks to some of your own needs as a corporate leader. Just look at their before you begin statement and what it says. Employees hold tremendous power. You and your colleagues are instrumental to how your company functions, innovates, and survives through uncertainty. For many employees, the importance of climate action has taken center stage, but it can be hard to know where and at which levels to accelerate climate action in the workplace, and how to bring your own skills to the table. Wow! Does this statement ring true as an outcome of doing my virtual focus group sessions? Taking meaningful climate action is exactly what's on employees' minds here at ABC Corporation. But to be quite honest, we are concerned about how ABC leadership chooses to respond. The folks at Project Drawdown already see the consequences of working against climate-concerned employees. There can be added pressure, higher attrition, a lack of morale, public protests, and more. And that's not what I want our YouTube channel and programming to be about.
Me either. So what do you want and see as a better alternative?
What I want and see is way better, and that is to do worker engagement on the all-encompassing climate crisis, being powerfully collaborative, working innovatively with leadership. By working together in teams, we can all help ABC Corporation succeed in our rapidly changing world.
Great. So does Project Drawdown have a good working definition for business climate leadership?
Yes, it does. Today's definition of business climate leadership centers on companies doing less harm, gradually reducing their emissions, and the damage they cause, over time. Employees can demand a more expansive view, one that taps every company's leverage points and the passion of every employee to scale climate solutions available right now, dramatically boosting expectations for business climate leadership around the world.
So what I hear you saying has to do with not only just doing catch-up and being just another company and a part of the status quo, but to have ABC Corporation actually become a front-runner? Is that what you're saying, Lizzie?
That's exactly what I'm saying, Dave. And this document contrasts a status quo posture with a leading and front-running drawdown-aligned position.
So how do we distinguish ourselves, work differently, and be more effective as front-runners, seizing strategic advantage, the drawdown-aligned way?
The Project Drawdown Climate Solutions at Work document breaks this down in doable steps. Inside most status quo companies, only a handful of people with sustainability titles and roles consider climate issues as part of their workday. But in this most all-encompassing challenge in human history, every job must be a climate job, and this can feel disruptive. So we can expect to have some pushback. The document warns that asking your employer for any type of change, from new coffee makers to comprehensive action on climate, can be intimidating, especially when the request targets something core and systemic to the business, and may not be supported by leadership. But the good news is that there are tangible, collaborative ways to harness ABC employee influence. This can spark climate action at our company. The bottom line fact is that all action is valuable, and the climate crisis calls on every person to find their inroad.
So what are the steps that Project Drawdown folks propose we take?
Step 1 is to form groups of like-minded colleagues. Our virtual focus group and strategic planning sessions can focus on creative brainstorming, identify company leverage points, and fuel positive collective action. Whether through green teams, employee resource groups, or under-the-radar organizing, employees can pull from a variety of teams and skills, promote active participation, and set priorities and goals.
Interesting. But how do we deal with the pushback, especially when some of this happens under the radar?
Great question. And that's exactly where Step 2 comes in, having to do with conducting power mapping with colleagues. We would identify networks inside and outside ABC Corporation that can be tapped for positive change. When considering requests to company leadership, these types of mapping exercises can help us employees better understand where influence sits at ABC, so all the decisions don't have to land in your lap, Dave.
Yes! Tell me more.
Rather than bringing all requests to you, Dave, this process helps identify a more available staff member with the right type of leadership influence. And this helps us develop ourselves as responsible, effective leaders.
A nice step indeed. So what step comes after that?
Step 3 of the Climate Solutions at Work document is to join with other front-running action-oriented groups like Climate Change Makers, Terra.do, or ClimateAction.tech for those in the tech industry to share resources and build community. And for more diversity, inclusion and equity, I need to introduce you to the important community work of Seattle's own Carla Jackson. She's another ABC colleague friend of mine who also wants to work closely with me on telling a better and more equitable transformational story.
Wow! Lizzie, your passion for doing good and compassion for serving people and our planet is a godsend. What is Project Drawdown's recommended next step?
I'm really grateful for everything in my life, Dave. Even our climate change challenge, which is really a huge all-inclusive climate action opportunity to solve a lot of things, across generations, across genders, across communities, across the marketplace, and across the planet. So the recommended fourth next step is to continue learning about the latest climate solutions that include everyone in good, truly equitable ways. One of the great things about the folks at Project Drawdown is that they have done a lot of work researching and developing a whole drawdown-aligned business framework of climate solutions. This framework highlights key leverage points and climate solutions to tap into to help the world achieve drawdown quickly, safely, and equitably. So to be drawdown-aligned, companies must apply their social, political, financial, and employee power to scale up and take full advantage of these available solutions.
And business-wise, in ways that reduce cost and make gains, right?
Absolutely. Already we are positively impacting your bottom line, but I need more help to do this right learning-wise. I'm thinking that these climate solutions areas will make for great YouTube content to tell captivating stories that talk about us reducing cost and making significant gains across the ABC enterprise and across communities we serve.
Wow! So let's shoot for the stars. What do you need? How can I help?
What I need is to do this faster by having more people helping me gain focus over Zoom and to create quality YouTube content across the entire ABC corporate enterprise. So with this on my mind, I loop back to Victoria Brown over at New World Communications, who can help with some ultra-affordable, ultra-eco-friendly, zero-carbon footprint workshops and courses about using Zoom and YouTube to grow business. So what I am thinking about is doing a series of Train the Trainer workshops and courses, simultaneously broadcasting them to multiple locations at once, across our entire enterprise. This would save us time and money and help us scale more quickly and qualitatively.
Great. We could possibly scale this across our whole enterprise. But first, let's pilot and master doing these workshops well with a core group first, and then consider rolling them out to all our locations.
Thank you, Dave. We can do this quality assured step by quality assured step.
Lizzie, you are doing some fantastic work, and it's great to support you. Thanks for meeting with me and helping us continue to move forward in some really good ways.
And thank you for your excellent leadership, Dave. By all of us continuing to work together, we can do all this, and just in time to draw down carbon too.